JBN, we keep you informed. Man shot and killed on bus along Mandela Highway. A coaster bus passenger was among three men killed in separate incidents between Wednesday and Thursday night in St. Catherine. The deceased passenger has been identified as 20-year-old Mario Grant of Zambia in Central Village, St. Catherine. Grant was shot and killed by gunmen in a brazen attack aboard a Toyota coaster bus. According to reports, sometime after 8 p.m., he was on the bus traveling along the Mandela Highway with other passengers when two men armed with handguns opened fire. Grant was shot while no one else was injured. The attackers managed to escape from the vehicle before the arrival of the police, who had been alerted. Grant was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The bloodletting continued in the parish 2 hours later when 22-year-old Keno McLaughlin of Gravel Heights in Spanish Town was gunned down inside a bar in St. Jacob Grove. Police report that McLaughlin was sitting at the bar with other men about 10 p.m. on Thursday when armed men entered the establishment. The gunmen opened fire, hitting McLaughlin several times before fleeing the area. The police were alerted and McLaughlin was assisted to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, Lawrence was killed during a robbery at his house in Edgewater on Wednesday. Reports indicate that about 3:30 p.m. he was stabbed several times by a man who robbed him of an undetermined sum of cash. The police are conducting investigations to locate the attacker. Jamaican lottery scammer gets almost 3 years imprisonment in the U.S. A Jamaican man described as a major player in the lottery scam has been sentenced to nearly 3 years in a United States prison. Orion Gray, 23, was on Thursday ordered by a judge in the state of Indiana to serve 34 months after he pleaded guilty to running a lottery scam that fleeced elderly and vulnerable victims of their retirement and other savings. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of Indiana, the scam lasted from April 2014 to September last year and raked in 90,000 US dollars, or approximately 11.6 million Jamaica dollars, that was funneled to Gray through associates in the U.S. and Jamaica. The Anova man also admitted to making death threats to coerce victims into paying taxes and advance fees for lottery and other prizes they did not win. Gray, also known as James Cooper, will be deported to Jamaica after completing his sentence. He was arrested in Anova last September by members of the Jamaica's Lottery Scam Task Force and was extradited to the U.S. after waiving his right to a hearing. United States Attorney for the Southern District of Indiana, Josh Minkler, warned that his conviction and sentence should serve as a warning to others. This defendant preyed on these elderly victims in the most despicable way by taking from them through lies and deceit over a significant time period, he said. Protecting the most vulnerable members of society from these scammers, no matter where they reside, is a top priority of this office. This sentence sends a message that the Southern District of Indiana will go after international scammers, extradite and prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law. Prosecutors say Gray and his cronies directed their victims to send money to them in Jamaica and the U.S. in order to conceal tracing of the proceeds of the scam. They reportedly masked their identities through the use of various telephone applications and other technologies. When victims attempted to stop contact with Gray and his cronies by changing telephone numbers, prosecutors say the group searched for the new numbers through local businesses such as pizza delivery and taxi companies. On one occasion, when a victim located in the Southern District of Indiana did not send the money as requested, Gray threatened to kill the victim and her family and sent individuals to a residence to try and collect the money, a spokesperson said in a statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Mother and son shooting report triggers anxious moments in Mountain View. There were anxious moments in the Mountain View community in eastern Kingston early on Friday after a woman made a report that she had shot and killed her son and was about to take her own life. The report triggered a swift response from a police team, only for them to find out that it was all a hoax, a totally false claim by the woman. The police said when they went to the area, they found out that the woman had an altercation with her son and had made the dramatic false report in the hope that the move would have triggered the quick response by law enforcers to her home, but really to deal with the escalating argument and no more. What we found was that the woman was having an argument with her son and she called the police. In doing so, she made a false report, thinking that this would make the police rush to the area faster, said a senior officer who went to investigate the incident. She called and told the police that she had shot and killed her son and was about to commit suicide, the senior officer from the St. Andrews Central Police Division said. The police, after they got the call, rushed to the area as they were not leaving anything to chance. Upon realizing that it was a hoax, the police held a mediation session with the two combatants. However, a warning was issued to the mother about the false report she made, with indications that she may possibly be prosecuted for creating public mischief. JPS rate increase application rejected by the OUR. The Office of Utilities Regulation OUR is reporting that it has rejected the Jamaica Public Service JPS 2019 to 2014 tariff review application because of material deficiencies, including the absence of critical information and supporting documentation. The OUR says this action is in keeping in pursuant to Schedule 3, Paragraph 7 of the Electricity License 2016, which states that if the office determines that the filing is deficient, it shall reject such filing within the said 10 working days and shall notify the licensee clearly identifying the deficiencies. As a result of this decision, the utility regulator says public consultations on the JPS tariff proposal scheduled for August 20 to September 4 have been postponed until further notice. Under the company's electricity license of 2016, the OUR had 10 working days to August 16, 2019 to conduct its preliminary examination and inform JPS as to whether it will accept or reject its application. The JPS had applied for a rate review from the OUR on July 31. Following their preliminary assessment of the submission, on August 15, the OUR's technical team concluded that it was deficient and would not allow for a comprehensive evaluation of the application. The OUR says the inherent deficiencies identified in the application were communicated to the JPS in a letter issued on August 16. It explains that JPS may resubmit its application when the identified deficiencies, any items requiring further clarification or additional information have been rectified and or addressed. World's largest cruise ship to visit Jamaica next year. Symphony of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship, is slated to make its inaugural call to Jamaica next year. With a carrying capacity of 6,680 passengers, the 228,081-ton ship is expected to dock in Falmouth, Trelawney on May 19, 2020. Minister of Tourism Edmund Bartlett says arrival of the Symphony of the Sea is not only timely, but should be viewed from the standpoint that Royal Caribbean continues to see Jamaica as a valuable cruise partner and a destination of choice. Royal Caribbean has had a long and fruitful relationship with the local cruise industry, Bartlett said, noting that the Falmouth Pier will be accommodating 3 of the 4 largest cruise ships in the world. The tourism minister said it should also be viewed against the background of the discussions the ministry and the senior government officials, including Prime Minister Andrew Holness, have been having with the top brass at Royal Caribbean and the commitment we have given to ensure their passengers enjoy their visit while in Jamaica. He said that the visit of the megaliner will also provide a major boost for Jamaica's cruise ship sector, which he said has been steadily showing growth in both earnings and passenger count over the past 3 years. New facility for children living state care. Exiting wards of the state will have the opportunity to reside at a new apartment complex in Mona St. Andrew come September. The Transitional Living Programme for children in state care caters to students who will be pursuing tertiary or vocational studies and those who are actively employed. The project was funded by the United States Agency for International Development in partnership with the Child Protection and Family Services Agency. At the 2019 National Children's Summit held on Friday, Chief Executive Officer of the CPFSA, Rosalee Gage-Grey, said the new facility is a testament to the progress that has been taking place since the last summit in 2017. The 2017 Declaration Report highlighted, among other things, that there were inadequate transition procedures and no accommodations for children leaving care facilities. Prior to the biannual summit, a series of pre-summit engagements were held across the 4 regions of the CPFSA, where children and parents were able to discuss the issues affecting them. Hearing from the children is not only empowering for them, it helps us as adults to get things right. Ignoring the experiences and the views of children, who are, after all, the experts in their own lives, will invariably lead to interventions that just doesn't work for them, Gage-Grey said. Another 289 children successfully completed vocational skills training over the 2-year period, which transitioned them to maintain a sustainable livelihood, while more than 900 were assisted with passports and tax registration numbers. Approximately 1,200 children between the ages of 12 and 17 years, who are mainly wards of the state, were in attendance at the Jamaica Conference Center. They were decked in brightly colored t-shirts representing their region, branded with the theme of the summit, Empowering Children, Uplifting Jamaica. Their faces lit up as they were entertained and edutained by JCDC children finalists, Tivoli Dance Troupe, and Children First. Keynote speaker Dr. Philip Coombs charged the children to empower themselves through reading, thinking big, and living according to God's plan. They were also reminded of their rights throughout the summit as United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF celebrates 30 years since the adoption of the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. Various exhibitions were set up along the hallway showcasing services beneficial to children. Among them were UNICEF, our Trust NTA, National Road Safety Unit, National Council on Drug Abuse, and the Jamaica Fire Brigade. The summit was conceptualized by the first Child Advisory Panel, which saw the need to create a forum for children to better interact with their peers. Chairman of the panel, Matthew McHale, expressed thanks to the CPFSA for taking action and for assisting them in influencing policy changes that benefit children. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.